My name is Tom Handel, and I'm Minister of Music at Church of the Covenant, and I've been asked to say a few words about how we make church happen during a global pandemic. So today I'm just going to talk about how I make hymns happen during a global pandemic. It takes a lot of steps, so we start very early, and I've been very grateful to Rob and Joshua and to Adam before, who have been getting me their hymns very early in the week. Once I have the selections, I record the accompaniment here at this piano-like thing, and I send that recording to one of our very talented and generous cantors. They listen to the recording and they make a video recording of themselves singing the hymn, and then they send that video back to me. Then I take that video recording, that movie, and I take the original audio recording that I made here and I put them into Final Cut Pro, which is the fancy version of iMovie. And once I have them synced up in Final Cut Pro, I can adjust the volume so we have a good balance between the vocalists and between the accompaniment. Then I take that, and that becomes movie number 2, and that's the movie that I put into Keynote. So Keynote is like PowerPoint, it's the Mac version of PowerPoint. So I take that second version of the movie and I put it in Keynote, and then I add all of the texts, and I usually add some kind of artwork that people can look at during the introduction. And then I play the keynote from beginning to end, clicking in all the right places so you're seeing the right text at the right time, and I record that. And then I take that recording and export it into yet another movie, the third movie of the series. And that is the movie that you watch on Sunday mornings. The things that I like about doing this is I really like collaborating with the cantors. And it's always really exciting when they send me their videos. And the other thing I like about it is I can do church in my sweatpants, and I can sleep late on Sunday mornings, and all I have to do is hit play. So I do like that. The things I really miss about it, of course, are singing in church together on Sunday morning, and that incredible sound and feeling when you have people singing and the organ playing and all that beautiful sound rushing through our sanctuary. I very much miss that, and I look forward to the day when we can do that again. But in the meanwhile, this is how we make church happen.
Hi, my name is Kathy Bull. I'm involved with the children and youth at church. We call this area Children and Youth Christian Education, or CYCE. Thanks to a great group of children, young people, parents, teachers, and our nursery provider, Anita Goncalves, we've continued to have classes and nursery time remotely. Understandably, this doesn't work very well for the youngest children, so we miss them. We've continued to stay in touch through email, texts, and sometimes fun packages. All of this is supported by the CYCE committee, which continues to meet. I'd like to show you some of the materials we use. At the beginning of circle time each week, we light a candle to remind us that God is with us. Recently, in Godly Play, the children heard the story of Jonah. In a youth class, some of the materials they use are sketchbooks and stones. We are very excited and grateful that Reverend Kate Carlisle has just joined us as CYCE coordinator. We're very grateful to the congregation for all your support. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Bill Brown, and as you know, I'm your building manager. And so I'm taking this video to let you know what I do to help make Covenant. So I thought we would take a little walk around the building and I can show you some various things that I do during the course of a week. I think we'll start in the sanctuary. So we'll see you down there. Hello again. Here I am in our beautiful sanctuary. And one of my duties is to meet with prospective wedding parties and other musical groups or any kind of a group that may want to rent the sanctuary and negotiate the leases and make sure everything comes together to make their event very special. So maybe now we'll head outside and take a look out there and see what I do out there. So on the outside of the building, I keep tabs on the grounds and what maintenance projects need to be completed. And I either direct Chuck, our exterior maintenance person, to handle the chores, or I'll sublet it out to whatever vendor is required to keep the grounds and the building in good repair. Well, hello once again. Right now I'm in one of our 4 mechanical rooms that we have in the building. This may be a room that you have never seen. This is the main boiler to the building. And one of my responsibilities through the week is to check all of these mechanical rooms to make sure there's no water leaks or the pressures are correct, and everything is running in order and is in safe condition. Hello everyone, I'm currently down in Bates Hall, and as part of my responsibility, as you know, we have 3 main tenants in the building, and several different groups that use the building on a regular basis every week. And part of my responsibility is to interact with all of our tenants and the user groups to make sure that all their needs are being met, if there's any problems, how to address them and how to correct them. And so I thought I might introduce you to Rachel Klein, who is WLP floor manager. And here's Rachel right here.
Hello.
And Rachel's been here for about a year.
Yeah, a little over a year now.
We interact quite a bit, and she's wonderful to work with.
So are you.
Hello, everyone. There's one more person that I would like to introduce you to. This is Nancy Armstrong, who is the Director of Operations of Women's Lunch Place. Nancy and I have worked very closely on many projects over the years. And currently, one of the projects we're working on has to do with the days we're living in with COVID-19. And we are working on the installation of a new UV sanitation system that'll be put into the HVAC system down here in Bates Hall. And this is Nancy, and I just wanted to say hello.
Hello there. It's nice to meet you all. I love working with Bill because of his long association with Church of the Covenant. Any questions that I have about anything in here, he usually has the answer to.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, that gives you a look at a few of the responsibilities I have here at Church of the Covenant as building manager. Before I leave, I'd like to share one more thing that I've learned while working here, and that's if you only have the food that you require, people around you that love you, and a safe place to sleep, you are truly blessed in life. Because I have met many people here through WLP, their guests, that have none of that. And you should all be very proud that your church provides them a place of refuge where they can experience a little bit of that. Certainly nourishment and a little bit of love and a little bit of a safe place to be. Thank you now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I wish you peace in your life.
Hi, my name is Anita, and I am the child care provider at COTC Nursery. And so how we bring church on Sundays is we essentially try to keep somewhat of a semblance of what we used to do in person. So we start off with a circle time where we start off with a greeting, and then we light our candle, we do a song, and then we will have the kids share any news or announcements that they care to share. It's always optional. And then our little ones go off into godly play class. And then while they're doing that, our older kids start their day with a youth class. And then after the classes are done, we have what has been termed Anita time. So essentially the kids who go in, they just decide what they want to play for the day, whatever their choice is. And I am there to hang out with them and engage them and talk to them for however long they choose to be present. And so that is how we bring church on Sundays.
Hi, my name is Simone DeVito, and I've been working at Church of the Covenant since 2014, though I've been worshiping here since 1981. I wear several hats. I'm sanctuary coordinator, which means that I coordinate, in normal years, I coordinate and supervise what we call open sanctuary, where we're open 5 days a week, and we welcome tens of thousands of people within a 6-month period. Normally, on a nice sunny day in August or September or even October, we'd have hundreds of people in the church. Well, not this year. This year, I have had a few private tours because we've advertised that on our website. And I also made a video explaining the significance and the beauty and the historical and spiritual value to a certain degree of our church. So that's my one hat. My other hat is event sexton. As event sexton, I coordinate, on the ground, coordinate groups coming into the church to have concerts, filming, meetings, weddings, memorial services, you name it. This year, we've actually had 3 weddings. They were small weddings, but people were really grateful and happy to be here and have a church wedding. Particularly the last wedding, the bride and the groom were both of Taiwanese descent, and they just had their immediate family, but they did a Zoom service for friends and family far and near, and afterwards they did Zoom greetings, and I was in not English, so I didn't understand what they were saying, but you didn't need to know the words. You could tell from their voices they were so happy to, communicate with their friends and family on this joyous day. So it was really beautiful. And we also had one other filming. Werner Herzog's son, Rudolf Herzog, interviewed via Zoom from Germany a professor from BU in this sanctuary. And that interview will be used in a documentary he's making. So we had quite a diverse number of things going on for, being in lockdown and, being during a pandemic. But whenever the church is open, people are so happy. Whenever that door is open on Berkeley Street, even for a minute, people will gather and they'll just look in and bow their heads, and they're so happy. We know God is everywhere, but this is it's like when you're a child, your parents love you, but they give you a teddy bear, and it makes you feel warm and loved physically because you can hold the teddy bear. This is God's big teddy bear for us. And so we really love it. And I love being here, and I love doing this work. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Lazard. As many of you all have known, for about a couple of months now, my role at Church of the Covenant is as the associate pastor. Unfortunately, I don't have the great opportunity to actually go to the church and actually show how my job actually gets done. So this right behind me, this messiness, this is the desk where most of my work happens, 99% of it. Most of you all have seen the background to some extent in the Sunday lives and in the Zooms that we have. And a couple of times I've done some one-on-one meetings with you all. Everybody on staff is treated to some weird angle for me sitting at a chair behind this exact desk. But it's at this desk behind me where sermons get written, where programs get made, where books get read, and everything else that happens. So I'll admit, it's not a lot of magic. There's not going to be a lot of great walking around to actually show what actually is happening here. But this is how my work actually works to help make covenant. All right.
Friends, good morning. My name is Rob Mark. I have the honor of serving as lead pastor here at Church of the Covenant. How does church happen in these days? There are lots of ways to describe that from my perspective, where I serve. I could go into some of the pastoral care or the public witness outdoors for justice and peace or ecumenical relations on your behalf, leadership within the church. But I think the most interesting for you would be to see how we make worship happen, or how I contribute to helping make worship happen each Sunday. So you notice the backdrop behind me, very familiar. You see it every worship service and many meetings in which I'm at. But I want to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look here, where you see the rest of Church of the Covenant, my robes and stoles, the dove, instruments, and lots of equipment to make things happen. So I want to show you a little bit of a bird's eye view, not a bird's eye view, I guess just a view for how things happen. When preaching, we have, thanks to John Schwartz, a raisable desk so I can stand up while leading worship using an NEC borrowed music stand from the sanctuary, so I can actually preach from here. We have 2 screens. You have to do that for Zoom management on a Sunday in order to keep things moving along. And then just another view of where we have some communion elements set up and an old iPad that's being used to display that, and some liturgical cloths from Covenant, more cameras, action, lights, mics, all sorts of things to try to do our best to bring worship forward. And one of the fun things I like to show you as well is when I leave this space, I have a reminder to extinguish my candle. Our prayer books here for my own personal use and for our evening prayers, incense, candles, church directory, where I pray people's names through the week and through the course of the ministry. So friends, this is just an example, but as we have heard from so many voices, many of our staff to whom I am so grateful and so indebted and also so inspired to be able to serve alongside, church only happens if you are not missing. So be present. Thank you for the ways that you support this ministry. As we move ahead into the unknown that comes before us, we know that God is always with us. Peace be with you.
Greetings. My name is Pam Warrants, and I am the rector at Emmanuel Church on Newbury Street. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you. When I think of Church of the Covenant, what comes to mind is the joy of having a close cousin in the neighborhood. I think of mutual affection, a readiness to collaborate with ministry and outreach, social justice, and worship. Our mutual ministries of Women's Lunch Place and Safe Haven Women's Shelter and Boston Warm allow us to serve together a population that is woefully underserved. We have family and friends to share Blue Christmas and Maundy, Thursday services, a family with whom to lament and celebrate, to protest and rally, to encourage, to challenge, to share tears, and to share ideas. We are so grateful for your progressive Christian witness in our neighborhood, in the city of Boston, and in the world. You inspire us. Thank you.